All right, everybody, good morning and welcome to Against the Public for July 29th. I'm Dana Lane. Today, as usual, we'll go through my top Major League Baseball free plays, hoping to once again get into the winner's circle. Had a good day on Sunday. Hope to keep that going on Monday. We'll wrap it up by breaking down with our normal handicapping tip of the day. We'll break down what pitchers have been the best pitchers to go against this season over the last 3 seasons, and just for the fun of it, we'll go back to 2005 just to see which pitchers, if we were doing it that long, have been the most profitable to go against. Should be interesting. Plus, I'll ask you to give me some information about the upcoming NFL season. Curious to see what your responses are. After the show, please go to Pickdawgz.com. I'll have my premium Major League Baseball card locked and loaded for Monday. You can jump on those single plays or my Major League Baseball 3-pack. That 3-pack is $49.99. And of course, every individual play in every 3-pack comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee. You must profit or receive an immediate site credit for the purchase price. In addition, there is only one way to get involved with every play that I release, and that's to simply become an all-access member. And guys, I can feel football coming. I know you can feel it too, because those 365-day-a-year packages are flying off the shelf. Thank you so much to everybody who got involved. And you can do that just for the next 30 days for less than $11 a day, the next 90 days for less than $10 a day. And right now we're running that Christmas in July special. That runs right through the 1st of August. So July 31st, 12 midnight Pacific time, I guess we're going to go on. It goes right back to the normal price. Now, if you get on board with that 365-day-a-year pass, that takes you right through the NFL preseason, regular season, college football season, the National Hockey League, college basketball, NBA, and of course, right up to this time next year in Major League Baseball. So no time like the present. Also, some of you use that 15% off promo code, so that gives you an additional savings as well. No time like the present to get involved. If you were with us last year during the college and pro football season, you know what we did, over 4,000 units of profit. We're going to do that again in 2024-25. So thank you so much to everybody who put their money behind me today. And we are just a couple days away, 3 days away from the Hall of Fame game between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. Bears minus 1.5 and 32 is your total. 27 days away from the start of college football. Baby, this is the time. Can't believe I let a baby just slip out. But it is the time to get involved long term so we can absolutely smash these books again just like we did last year. I do already have my preseason NFL package loaded up on the website. $199.99 gives you every preseason play that I send out for that one low price. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, college and pro football was fantastic last year. So if you were involved, I expect you to get back to again this year. If you were not, don't miss out again. Okay, here are your free plays for Monday. Remember, these are probable pitchers or expected probable pitchers in a couple of these. So just confirm before placing your wager. We'll start things off 3:05 Eastern Time, 9:59, 9:60. Toronto Blue Jays against the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles minus $1.80. 9 is your total. Yariel Rodriguez against Zach Eflin. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. Nothing yet as far as the bet percentages on the money line, but I do suspect betting is going to go in favor of the Baltimore Orioles. So anticipate that depending on which way you're going to attack this game. I'm focused on the total, where we see 90% of the early wagers on the over, along with 88% of the tickets. I like the under in this game, so wait and see if we can squeeze a little bit more juice out of this number, which has not moved so far. But I do suspect during the morning betting, and then closer to game time, we will get a little bit more movement. So be patient on this. I think it's going to go in the opposite way of our direction, so we're going to get a little bit better juice than we have right now at just $1.10. Rodriguez 1-3 this year, 3.69 ERA, has been much better of late, just 5 5 earned runs, 9 hits, last 22 and a third innings. That's a 2.02 ERA. So you know I like to back pitchers that are headed in the right direction. Those numbers certainly tell me that he is. Over his last 4 starts, opponents are hitting just 123. So that's good. Good on that side. On the other side of Baltimore, Zach Eflin's going to make his first start for the Baltimore Orioles after being sent to the O's from the Tampa Bay Rays. Eflin this year is 5-7, a 4.09 ERA. Over his previous 5 starts, he's 2-2, a 3.76 ERA. That's good enough for me. I'm going to go under that 9. And again, we're going to look for a little bit better number than minus $1.10. Maybe if you get that $1.05, make sure you go out and grab that. That's good enough. Second game, 6:40 Eastern Time, 961, 962. Cleveland Guardians against the Detroit Tigers. Tigers minus $1.15, 7 over minus 15. Tanner Bibee against Jack Flaherty. This total is interesting because when I'm looking at a 7, I always tend to look at the over. No different in this one. Bibee is 8-4 this year, 3.50 ERA. Over his previous 4 starts, former Cal State Fullerton star has allowed just 8 earned runs in his last 22 and a third innings. That's a 3.22 ERA, and I assume that the Tigers are going to load up on lefties in this game because despite Bibee's numbers overall being fantastic, a little bit susceptible to left-handed hitting. They're over 250 this year against Bibee as far as batting average. I expect a little bit of change in the Tiger lineup. If you looked at their lineup today, there was 3 lefties in the lineup. I think that's going to change a little bit tomorrow. I think they'll load up at least for 1 or 2 more left-handers. Flaherty 7-5 this year, 2.95 ERA. He's given up 8 earned runs in 23 and a third innings. That's a 3.09 ERA. We see the public sharing my opinion on this. I'm looking at the number now. 95% of the money and the tickets are on the over. By the way, the over is 31-29 when the total is 7 in 2024. 251 and 253 since 2021. That's interesting. That's almost right down the middle. Cleveland is 23-15 to the over since 2021, and Baltimore just 9-1 to the over. You don't see a lot of 7s in Oriole games considering the amount of runs that they could score, but we're going to go over that 7 minus $1.15. And game number 3, 9:40 Eastern Time, 9:55, 9:56. Washington Nationals against the Arizona Diamondbacks. D-backs minus $1.67. 9 is your total. Mitchell Parker against Jordan Montgomery. Now, DJ Hurst is listed on some websites, and there also is a TBA for Arizona also on some websites. But from what I'm hearing, Parker is going to get the start. Mitchell Parker for the Nats. Montgomery is going to start for the Diamondbacks. But again, make sure you do check before placing your wagers, just so you're comfortable with your wager. Parker's 5-6 this year, a 4.34 ERA, but over his last 4 starts, he's allowed 17 earned runs in 16 and 2/3 innings. That's a 9.18 ERA, and in those starts, opponents are hitting 300 and 614 slugging. Jordan Montgomery, 7-5, that's 6.11 ERA. Well, if you're 7-5 with a 6.11 ERA, that must mean your team scores a lot of runs for you. And sure enough, Arizona scores 6.45 runs per game for Jordan Montgomery. We see 97% of the money and the tickets on the over, so get on this as soon as possible. We also like the over 9 minus $1.10. Before we go, I just wanted to do some housekeeping starting, and we'll start it off with our handicapping tip of the day. And I examined which pitchers were the best to go against in 2024. Then I put it over 3 years, and then I kind of expanded that just to have some fun with it over since 2005. So here are your numbers. In 2024, here are the top 3 pitchers to go against. And we'll start things off at number 3, Yusei Kikuchi, 15-7, 9.08 units 1 if you go against him. Of course, Kikuchi with the Toronto Blue Jays. Aaron Savali, number 2, 15-6 if you went against him. 9.77 units 1 with the Milwaukee Brewers. And Nestor Cortez, the number 1 pitcher to go against in 2024, 15-7 plus 11.78 units. That means Nestor Cortez is not winning when he's a favorite. Of course, Nestor of the New York Yankees. Last 3 seasons, here are the top 3 pitchers combined to go against. Number 3, Jordan Montgomery. We just talked about Jordan, 41 and 38 if you go against him, plus 6.49 units for the D-backs. Number 2, Lucas Giolito, 41 and 22. 41 and 22 if you went against Giolito over the last 3 years, plus 16.82 units. Of course, he's with the Red Sox, but he's on a 60-day IL right now with that elbow issue, so he hasn't started at all this year. So maybe just something to keep in mind when he does come back. And number 1 over the last 3 seasons, Trevor Rogers of the Miami Marlins. You'd be 37 and 12 going against Trevor, plus 17.81 units won, and you would be 15 and 6 in 2024. Now, since 2025, 20 years ago, number 3 on the list, Yu Darvish. You'd be 126 and 151. You would lose 25 more games than you would win. But you would be up 23.43 units because we know Yu Darvish was a massive favorite most of the time. Did not come through, which is why you would be up 23.43 units. Has not pitched since May 29th. He is on the restricted list in baseball. Number 2, Scott Feldman. You guys remember Feldman? You would be 116 and 87 if you went against Scott Feldman during his time since 2005. Be up 23.43 units, the same as Yu Darvish actually. He is retired, spent most of his career with the Texas Rangers. And number 1 since 2005, if you went against this pitcher, and I never would have thought this was a guy that would have been number 1 in this category because he was dominant for a hot minute, really. But Jeff Samardzija, 140 and 101. That really surprised me too. You'd be 39 games over 500 if you went against Jeff Samardzija, plus 32.25 units. Of course, he's been out of baseball since 2020. He was a Chicago Cub, retired as a Giant, and of course a star wide receiver at Notre Dame. So that was just kind of interesting. I would have never thought Jeff Samardzija, because he was really good for a while, but he is the number 1 pitcher to go against, and to me that just told me he didn't win consistently enough and was a favorite most of the time, which I could also check out as well, but we won't do that. If there's anything you'd like me to research, just please drop a comment on the YouTube channel. I will get to it if I have the numbers, which I most likely do, so I'll be more than happy to do that. Before I go, I just wanted to ask you a question of something I've been really curious about for years, and I've kind of played around with it a little bit, and this pertains to college football and it pertains to the National Football League. And I thought, at one point, do you as bettors want your picks? Would you want them on Wednesday? Do you want them on Thursday? Because I always thought, back in the day, and believe me, this is a business where you still evolve. I've been doing this for like over 30 years now. You still evolve in your thinking, and you still are trying to determine what is best for your customer. And I always thought, well, I'll put them up Friday night because I'll have the most information, and I will have, I will be 100% sure. But then as time went on, I thought, well, there is no information I usually get on Friday nights that change my wager in any way. So I kind of shied away from that. So my question is, what day do you want your college picks, and what day would you rather have your NFL picks? So would you want them on a Wednesday or a Thursday, or does it matter to you? Now, the reason I ask is because there's some people that have under the impression that maybe you want them up on Monday and Tuesday, and to me, that's kind of like, and no disrespect to them, it's good for them, it's just not what I do. But to me, it's kind of like going to a restaurant and getting your food a little bit too quick. And so I think Monday and Tuesday to me is a little bit too quick, but I also want to make sure that I'm providing ample time for you to get your wagers down and for you to do what you do so you can make money. So give me your answers. What day would you rather have college football on? What day do you want the NFL on? And of course, we're just talking about Saturday and Sunday games. When I put those games up, say an NFL, for an NFL week, I'll put a Monday game up already, so I won't wait till late to put an NFL Monday night game up. So let me know what's best for you, and then we'll stick with that all year. because I want to make sure that I'm giving you, I don't want the guy to like, oh, I got to have him in by Wednesday, by Wednesday morning or something, and I'm just not putting him up. I want to make sure that I get him up there, but I also have this tug of war because I also want to make sure I give you the best number. I give you the play at the time where the best number is available. But at the same time, I also want to make sure I have all the information. I want to make sure I have injury information, weather report information, things like that, etc. So let me know what day is best for you. That's your homework for tonight. So that does it for your Monday free plays and handicapping tip of the day. Please go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many available packages. Guys, we're only days away from Christmas and July ending. You can get every play I release for the next 365 days for one low price. You throw it on a credit card, we'll pay it off a little at a time, and we'll take it right through college and pro football this season. Here's your Monday free play recap. 12:05 Eastern Time, Game 1, Toronto-Baltimore, under 9. Cleveland-Detroit, over 7, minus $1.15. And 6:40 Eastern Time, Washington-Arizona, over 9, minus $1.10. That does it for today's show. Thank you to everyone who continues to watch on a daily basis. I'm so excited for football, guys. It is time. It is time right now. Get those long-term packages. The proof is in the pudding. We crushed it last year. We're going to crush it in 2024-25. Don't wait until August or November. Get it from the beginning, and we're going to start things off with the Hall of Fame game. So make sure you get involved. For Against the Public, I'm Dana Lane. All the best to you and your wagers on Monday.